Uh, so I am recording from this point forward. Um, so again, thank you guys for giving me your time. Um, and I put together a little slide here, and I'm going to try and keep it interactive. Um, and what I want you guys to take away from this at the end is I want you to have a good understanding of what we are or who we are as I guess as a company, as a community, what we provide for who, and essentially all the details that kind of get lost. People just kind of say, "Hey, I want to sign up," and it's not really that simple. Quickly, just quick history. Um, we were founded in 2020. We're a stock investing and trading community who focuses heavily on technical analysis, indicators, and market structure to produce results that outperform the market. So it started as a small trading community on Facebook in a group with some friends, grew as we had success back in 2020. We weren't alone. 2020 was a huge bull market, and you could throw a dart at a board and you'd hit a stock that was up 10 per 20% in a day or even that week. So um, right now, we consist of myself, Bobby House, who's going to join us here shortly, and William Wyant Bitlender. So we combined to form a team with decades of experience. I know between me, Bobby, and Bitlender, we've got a few decades of experience trading. Uh, and we kind of complement each other. So whereas I tend to focus on technical analysis and more short-term trading, and dabble in some long-term investing. Bobby House kind of picks up the slack with where my swing trading and some other longer term investments go. He's got a really good handle on that. I've been watching him perform for years at Personify, and we really have a talented team here. Um, so a little bit about myself. I've got over 7 years experience trading, investing, founded Moonshot Traders 2020. I took a small $5,000 investment, turned it over 100K in less than 2 years. The receipts are on Facebook. Um, not everything has been all, rosy during this trip. After getting demolished in the 2021 bear market, I had to reapproach and re-educate myself on what really moves markets. Okay, going back to 2020, where anybody could be a stock picker, and I was one of those anybody's. Looking back, they say, sometimes that the bad times make you. That couldn't be more true. That bear market, we all learned a lot. And I hit the books heavy in terms of technical analysis, and I set out to become essentially an expert in TA. I literally I went through hundreds of indicators, hundreds of different situations, and essentially, what you're seeing now is the cultivation of those years of hard work. And despite that success, I'm always willing and open to learn. Before I jump into, has Bobby, you here yet? I know he was putting his kids to bed. What's up, Daryl?
Hey, how's it going?
So good. Bobby's not here yet, but I'll give a quick background, and he has a little section towards the end. I don't want this to get boring and monotonous and dry for you guys. So I'll do the best I can to kind of keep this a conversation. So now, can you guys see my screen? Yeah.
Well, we see you, but not your actual screen.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
pop up
no
my
screen.
okay, cool. Let me do this. Let's just do the entire screen. Okay. Um, okay, so the slides probably help you guys follow along. So Bobby, I invited Bobby on. Again, he's got tons of swing trade experience. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Personify, but they were a similar group to ours. And at one point they were really big. I think they ended. I'll let Bobby tell you guys the story more on them. But you know, they were big, especially during COVID. You know, they were one of those companies that were really pushing to give out stock alerts. And I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about a company. They don't, to my knowledge, they don't exist anymore. And I know Ken, you know, great guy. But I think where they failed is they did not adapt. You know, after that 2020 bull market, I don't think they changed their approach, and that's something we did that led what I believe to, you know, to be our success. So, but other Bobby's a great stock picker, if you will. He's got 8 years trading experience. Great guy. Thinks of himself as a forever student. And I think you need to take that mentality into you know, trading and life overall is, you know, make constantly learn, or be open to learning. Bitlender, I haven't, I'll get to him in a little while, but he covers, crypto, and stocks. And then the community as a whole, we're here to build a community of like-minded traders, provide useful resources to help one another reach our goals. Okay, so what do we provide? We're providing solutions for the average person who has little to no investing or trading experience. So what I want to provide is a product where I can go to your uncle who's never traded in his life and say, "Here you go, follow this step by step, and you will have success trading." In a nutshell, that's what I want to provide. So, as you'll see later, one size does not fit all, you know? So what's the difference between a trader and an investor? And again, I apologize to you guys if this seems like, you know, basic stuff. It's the first class. We're going to dive a lot deeper into the technical indicators on the next one. We're going to dabble in them. I'm going to show you what they are. But I appreciate your patience if this is a little, you know, above your level right now. So what's the difference between a trader and investor? Very simple. A trader is someone who is going to be more active, whereas an investor, it's a more passive approach. So if you're actively making trades, guess what? You know, you're an investor. Whether you make trades once or twice a month, or I'm sorry, you're a trader. Whether you make trades a couple trades a month, you know, if you're still actively you know, making changes in your portfolio to take advantage of market conditions, you're a trader. And obviously, as an investor, it's a more passive approach. And you're probably not going to do a whole lot of selling, honestly. You're going to take advantage of opportunities like in April, you know, when I called that out as a market bottom, if you will. Well, how do we do that? Well, I just looked at the VIX. The VIX is over 30. I'm buying, period. No questions asked. If I'm a long-term investors, I'm buying. And what are you buying? We'll get into that later. But in general, it's stocks that are beaten down. And I've covered a lot of this in the chat if you guys are following along. So now. So first of all, you need to figure out, are you an investor or are you a trader? And if you guys have a piece of pen and paper at home, you know, or can mark this off on the side or something on an app, You know what you are, first of all, and write this down because there's going to be more to it, as in what kind of a trader are you are, etc. So, first of all, you need to know, are you a trader or are you an investor? If you're an investor, you're going to take a completely different approach with us than you would if you're a trader. Okay. And I'll get you guys copies of this as well, so you can kind of go back and follow along if you need to. Um, Okay. Different types of investors. Okay. So, like I was saying, long-term investors, this is going to be your easiest approach. It's going to be the most hands-off. It's going to have the least amount of risk, but also the least reward. Okay. Now, don't get it twisted. This reward is going to beat the market. Okay. Because you're going to be able to take advantage of opportunities like in April, where I would gather the average person or investor was either scared because, Trump was going to do this and that, and therefore didn't invest, or they just didn't even know and care. But regardless, they missed an opportunity in April. And, I'm not going to pull up the receipts right now, but, I mean, I pretty much, put a gun to your head and say, hey, it's time to buy. And I try to do that and be clear when those opportunities come around because they don't come around all that often. I mean, they do in a way, but for instance, this last pullback since April, we hadn't had one, for a long period of time before that. Um, so right now, you need to know, okay, am I a trader or am I an investor? Okay, and you could be both. All right. So for instance, your approach could be, and I'm going to get into this. This is part of why I said, hey, get a pen and paper. Is you need to figure out which way or how much money you're going to allocate or to what. Okay, so are you going to put 75% to long term, and then you're going to day trade with 25%, or is it going to be opposite? Are you going to put 25% to long term and swing trade with 75%? Whatever the case may be is fine, and that's totally up to you. But it needs to be uh, really, it needs to be on paper in front of your face, and you need to kind of set up that boundary for yourself. So most of us here are going to be long-term investors of some type, whether you're investing in your 401k at work or whether you're doing this here on your own. I would gather that, the overwhelming majority of us are going to be long-term investing. So again, this is the easiest risk level, 2 out of 10, time commitment, 2 out of 10. And you can buy stocks, ETFs, bonds, crypto. And then obviously, if you're buying options, that's going to increase your risk substantially. Um, Next, we have swing trading. Before I dive into that, anyone have any questions on anything? Any comments? Anything they want to bring up? All right, cool. So swing trading. So we went over long-term investing. Next, we're going to get into more of swing trading. Okay. Now, swing trading could be anywhere from I'm holding a play for a couple days up until a few months even. So with swing trading, you could have drastically different approaches as well. Did Bobby happen to join us yet, or is he still putting the kids to bed? Let's see. I don't see him. Okay, we'll keep going. So, so swing trading is just a short-term approach, days, weeks to months, where a trader enters a trade based on a move they think will happen in the relatively near future. Now, while this could be based on news, market conditions, technically, so there's all these different, conditions for entering a swing trade. Now, while my alerts are based and mostly focused on SPY for swing trading, Bobby House obviously, if you guys have been following him for any amount of time, has been putting out some killer swing trades on other tickers. Um, so if you haven't already, please give Bobby a follow. If you want to come under his house trades tag and you're not under that already, um, send me a DM. But he gives a much more in-depth analysis. He really looks at his trades, whereas mine, I'm looking at technicals only. Um, his get to be a little bit more in depth. And then Bitlender also offers his own unique take, which, again, I'll let him get into in another class. Now, as a swing trader, all right. Risk level is going to be a little bit more than long-term investing. Time commitment, you're going to have to put in a little bit more time than a long-term investment, and you can buy the same assets. All right. Any questions on swing trading? All right. And you guys are going to have to figure out which is best for you. I can help you do that along the way. But it's going to come down to, essentially what you're willing to risk, how much time you're willing to put in, and what rewards you're looking for. All right, day trading. All right. So this is going to be your quick in and out plays. Buy and sell same day, and many times you may just be in a play for a few minutes. Uh, now you can lose a lot of money very quickly day trading. You can also make a lot of money very quickly day trading. So if you're inexperienced, don't have proper guidance, start playing around with options. This is like the common story. You know what I mean? And myself included. Most of us have gotten our faces ripped off playing around with options at some point, right? There's a high level of risk and reward with day trading. Now, that being said, we've had a lot of success using the systems based on our MT Super ORB indicator, the Infinity indicator as well. Some students or members prefer the Infinity indicator. Both are solid for day trading. Just keep in mind that the MT Super Orb is only for day trading. And I'll show you that here in a couple slides. We're going to start diving into the indicators a little bit. So I appreciate your patience. Um, Also, take notes of the key levels we call out every Monday. I believe we just bounced off one. I mean, I was doing this all day, but earlier today, I think we bounced off one hard to new all-time highs, and I'm pretty sure I called that out a couple days ago too. Not to toot my own horn, I'm just trying to, show you guys, hey, that there's something to this. This isn't, the follow these key levels. Keep them in mind when you're trading. Um, Educational content. So as a day trader, um, you're going to have to spend the most time on education with day trading. Okay. It also has the most potential out of the three. Now, the way we approach this is I teach you guys the need to know basic stuff first. And again, I'm going to show you what I mean here on the chart in a second. So just stay with me here. So I teach you the basics, I teach you the need to know stuff. I build you a good foundation, and we can do this very quickly, in a period of weeks. Um, I give you that foundation, and then we fill in all the other stuff as we go. All right. So I want you to be winning. I want you to see wins and have success. And then I can kind of fill in all the details later. Like there are things that you don't necessarily need to know to have success trading. And I don't teach you those things right off the bat. I want to teach you how to get into a trade, have success with a trade, get out of a trade, and do this consistently. And if it ain't going towards that, then it's kind of on the back burner in terms of priorities. So, need to know information is really what I'm working at for day trading. Um, okay, what sets us apart from other Discords? Listen, we focus on what moves the market, not so much. Uh, I feel like there's a lot of, not I feel like there is a lot of noise in the market. So essentially, what I'm looking at is what's moving the market, okay? Where the institutions at, where their orders at, and that's where I want to be. Um, we value a proper emotional approach to trading. Again, I'll get into this, and we're probably going to do a whole class on it. But having a proper mental state and a good foundation mentally is so important. We also offer one-on-one approach to mentor students, make sure they're on the right track, and this is important. Look, all of you guys, if I ask every single one of you guys right now, you're all going to have a different goal of what you want to accomplish here. So because of that, I need to have, different options for you guys, for what best suits your goals. And again, we'll get into that later. All right. What you need to get started, be mentally ready. Okay. No emotional stress, no overwhelming stress. If you're super happy, super sad, super depressed, super anything, it's not time to trade. Just take a little breather when you can, and when you have a nice even keel mind, that's when you should look to trade. Also, have an open mind and willingness to learn a new approach. Some of you guys may have years of experience, all right? The way I approach things, I don't care if you've been trading for 6 months. If you have something of value that I see works, I'm going to try to adapt that in my strategy. You know what I mean? I think everyone should have that open mind, willingness to learn a new approach. And maybe only half of it applies to what you're trying to do, but you can take that half, you know what I mean? And guess what? You just gotten better. Um, so the tools you need to get started, we'll go over this at the end of the course, but you're going to need a Discord account. Most of you have it. Trading View account, a free account is fine for now. And a broker of your choice Robinhood, Webull, Schwab, whoever. E-Trade doesn't matter. It's up to you. Um, and I'll start going over the Discord here in a minute. Just want to take a quick break, ask you guys if you guys have any questions before I dive into the Discord. All right, cool. All right. So I'm going to try and burn through this. So first, I'm going to cover our free community. So as you can see here in it should say chat hangout. Um, Okay, this is our main chat. All right, it's completely free. This is where we talk every day. Think of this as our home base. Okay, and that is the chat hangout here in the free community. All right. Next, we have all things crypto. This is going to be wherever anyone will share their crypto, literally anything crypto. All right. You want to share crypto, you want to talk about Ethereum, you want to talk about whatever. As long as it's crypto related, this is our spot in the free community to do that. Testimonials and share gains. This is where if you want to, you can share your gains or losses with the community. It's kind of a little fun little spot there. Infinity Indicator, ask for free trial. Self-explanatory. If you want a free trial of the indicator and or indicators, again, which I will get into here in a minute, uh, this is where you would ask for a free trial or you could DM me. By the way, let me just take a second. I will never tell you guys to send me Bitcoin. All right. If you get a message from someone saying, oh, I'm doing this new copy trading thing, yada, 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 sign up and send me crypto to sign, it's not me. All right. The only thing I will ever do, at least for the foreseeable future, is what I'm doing now. Okay, through my Patreon, through my Discord, my one-on-one courses. That's all done, and you can all do this through the Patreon in here. All right, I don't have anything going on the side. It's all scammers pretending to be me. And if everything I do is out in the open. If you have a question about anything, just post it. Remember, chat hangout. That's our main base. Just post it there, and you'll also raise awareness for other people. And if you think, hey, who would be stupid enough to do that? Unfortunately, we've had people, that have gotten ripped out of thousands of dollars. A lot, usually it's newer investors, new to the space, but it kills me. So please protect yourself. Um, Upgrade to premium. When you're ready to upgrade to premium, tag me here, and I'll get you taken care of. House Market Journal. House Market Journal. So this is Bobby House's swing trade channel. This is where he gives his positions, gives updates on his positions, yada yada yada. And again, if you are not already and you would like to be, I can add you to the tag, the at House Trades tag. Just DM me. And then we have Bitlender's stock posts and crypto posts as well to round out the free community. We have the live channel as well. I prefer Zooms for now. We'll see. But right now, I'm not really using that. All right. Um, so that's it for the free channels. There is plenty more free content, which I'll get into in a bit. But next, I'll cover the premium part of the Discord. And again, I'm really trying to get through this while giving you guys enough information. If you have any questions, you can always DM me. You can ask. I'll give you a chance to answer here or ask here in a minute. But the premium section of the Discord is going to be these two tabs, the options alert tab. I'm sorry, these three tabs, options alerts, the stock alerts, and the education. And I guess the archive as well, which is there's some gold in there. I'll come in at the end of the video and show you. So your options alerts. First, you're going to have your stock market predictions. Okay, this is where I post every Sunday night or Monday. I'll post key levels to watch for. So like this week, yeah. So our sweet spot, not our sweet spot, but one of our key levels was 641.50, as I posted here on was that Monday. So I'll show you what I mean. So that was at Monday at what 11:30. So if we jump to the chart, I have it on this one. Patience me for a second, please. I'll get to the chart. Um, okay, so that was Monday at 11:30, right? Or the 25th at 11:30. So let's jump to like, I don't know, the 15-minute. Oh my God, go away. Okay. Also, there's a sale on TradingView. If you guys want premium, now would be your opportunity there. All right, how can I'll keep that up for now. Okay, so that was Monday the 25th, right? Let's move you guys out of the way here. Monday the 25th. Okay, so here we are. All right. And I said what 641 50, okay, was our area to watch. You'll see later that day, it didn't happen till later in the day, but again, these levels are valid. This is why you can use it for futures as well. These levels are valid as well. So we came down to 641, and change. And those key levels are going to be they're just huge areas of volume, essentially, at that particular level. So we know those are big areas of interest. And you can see we bounced essentially right off that level to new all-time highs. So these key levels are very, very important to watch and keep in mind. Any questions while I scroll back over to the presentation? Just FYI, you guys are auto muted. So, uh, let's just go away. Okay. Oh, come on. Sorry, I don't use PowerPoint. All right, there we go. All right, so options, alerts, yada yada. Went through that. The day trading. So the indicators work great for day trading. I'm still working. I used to give the SPY alerts for day trading. I prefer you use the indicators, but I'm switching them back over, switching them from the Super Orb to the Infinity Indicator. And let's see, that slide is coming up. Let's see, we went through that. We went through that. Okay, yeah, so it's two slides. Just bear with me. Um, so the options alerts, you've got your stock market predictions, where that's what I was calling out, these levels here. So obviously, if we stay above these levels, we're going to continue to be anyone bullish. So we're going to continue to be bullish as long as we hold above those key levels. Okay. Stocks I'm watching. So this is more of like a watch list. I'll call out stocks that I kind of want to revisit, or I haven't done homework on, but are like piquing my interest. Sometimes I never get back to them. Like today I threw out, um, what I threw out Netflix and Eli Lilly a few days ago. And today I threw out Palantir and this, I think is a technology, like Mandabi or whatever it was. So I haven't done any, I'm not going to just give you guys uh, stock picks I haven't done any research on or due diligence on. So I kind of throw it there a lot of the times for me, but also for you guys to kind of throw out and say, okay, what are we looking at? And you guys, well, you can't put them here, but you're welcome to share in the chat. Um, Okay. Multi-day options alert, self-explanatory. And again, I mostly do SPY, or I only do SPY for the auto alerts. But again, you can use the indicator on the hourly chart for any asset you want to. And I use the infinity indicator for the multi-day and the day trade alerts. It works great on pretty much anything I've tried stock wise or ETF wise. And then we have the stock alerts. Here we have news on long-term stock alerts as well. So again, I send out the stock alerts. And these long-term stock alerts are stuff I'm looking for like to hold at least for a year or longer. Unless we run up in some situations, we'll run up like, 50, 100, 200% in less than a year. Yeah, it's probably time to take some money off the table. And then we have our crypto alerts there as well, our educational channels, YouTube videos. We have a channel with charting and technical analysis, options education, and we have a newcomer channel that has some gold in it. By the way, you can always go to pin stuff on these channels and you have like stock terminology. When I was building this channel, I put a lot of resources into educational material. So if you guys are premium, please take some notes and check out this education channel and also the archive. Okay. Any questions about the Discord? Let me know. If you guys have any questions about the Discord right now, go ahead and speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, not really. You can ask me later. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so that's the Discord. All right. Okay. So the juicy part. This is what most of you are here for, right? Indicators. So our infinity indicator is our original tried and true indicator. It's a trend-based indicator. It can be used at any time frame with amazing overall results. Okay. The strengths of the infinity indicator. So the longer term chart you use it on, the higher the win rate it's going to be. So with like the daily chart on SPY, we've had like over a 90% win rate. Um, Whereas as you start to go down, you go to like the hourly and it's more like 80 to 85%. And then you go to day trading, it's more like 75 to 80%. You know what I mean? So the accuracy just goes down slightly as as you go down a time frame, which is why, and now the thing is, you can use this on pretty much anything at any time frame. So it's great for that. Its weakness, sideways and range-based markets, okay? But keep in mind, okay, so this is great on longer term charts. And it works, don't get me wrong. It works really, really, really good. It's awesome as a day trading indicator. However, I found what I believe to be a better one. And built this the way I built this thing out, feature wise, and essentially turned the orb into a super orb indicator. I think it's a better indicator for day trading. Now you can only use the super orb for day trading, but it's a strong indicator. It's easy to use. Um, and essentially, like I said, I took the basic orb strategy, amplified it so that it will only trigger when certain market conditions are met. It also features an order block. I don't know why I put finder. There's probably a better word for that, but it shows you order blocks, essentially showing you where institutions are at. Um, it's a great, where'd it go? It's a great new way to find breakouts during the trading day. So if we're breaking out or breaking down, ooh, this is going to be a great indicator that day. And when you couple it with the order block features, it really helps traders spot areas of trend continuations and also possible reversals before that indicators go off. And I'll show you that here right now. The weakness to the orb is again, same as the infinity indicator, in a sideways or non-trending market, and it's you can only use it for day trading. We also have a small glitch that I'm trying to work out to where on futures markets, it's like an hour late. Now the results seem to still be really, really, really good, but it's not as it should be. So while you can still use it for futures, it's not perfect yet. It's working great for stocks and ETFs though, and I'll show you that here now. So I'm not going to cherry pick. I'm just going to go back and show you the last week or so. Um, so let's just go here. And for the orb, you can use anything from the 1, 3, 5, 10, 15 minute charts. I prefer the 3 minute chart. All right. Um, so let me see if I could clean this chart up for you a little bit. Let's do that. What else? I think everything else is okay. Should be good. I have all these indicators, and I barely use any, but I keep them up. Okay. So this is our super orb indicator. And I'll just take a little bit since this is like our main day trading indicator. I will take a little bit of time on this. So it's as straightforward as it gets. I really tried to keep it super easy. When you see a buy signal, you're buying. Okay, you're going long. And in terms of profits from there, you can use the trailing stop loss, which I will cover in the next class. Or you can aim for essentially whatever um, profit point you like. That's like I said, it's a next class type thing in terms of profit taking, stop losses, trailing stop losses. Um, but essentially, that's it. You're buying here, you're going long as soon as you see the buy signal. Now, um, and as long as we're holding the orb level, some people will actually wait for this retest to get in. Personally, I don't like that strategy. If I see a buy, I'm getting in. I would maybe add, or I'm probably out. Honestly, I'm out of this position by here. So I'd probably look for round two here. And as you can see, we're holding this. It's just two lines, okay? As this is really starting to become a popular strategy now, just the generic orb, and with good reason. So if it goes above this level and meets certain conditions, then we'll get a buy signal. If it goes below it here, this was after hours, by the way. Um, if it goes below it, let me see, same thing over here, right? We never got a buy signal because I have this set up to where it only will give me a buy signal in certain market conditions. It's not only it goes over the green line with the orb. But we did get a buy signal. Again, some people look for that retest, right? And here's a situation where we're also seeing what? A nice, look at that wick, a nice, beautiful wick here, okay, pushes us back over, and we have our order blocks. So this is telling me that institutions are buying here. All right. We're starting to see some institutional activity, more than likely here buying in these levels. Okay. And as you can see, the price reacted. All right. Let's look at the previous day. Again, this was an after hours thing, but again, we did get a sell signal here. I guess you could have played it at 357 and actually made a chunk of money. Same thing over here, buy signal. You're entering on the buy signal. Um, any other questions in terms of the super orb while I have the chart up? Anyone catch this one? This was I caught a little piece of this one. I sold like right here, but this was on Tuesday, I think. Or no, this was sorry, you guys' heads are in the way. Friday. That's right. Friday. So, and again, what did I say? Our weakness is going to be sideways markets. No indicator is going to be perfect, right? So our weakness is going to be these sideways markets. All right. A little order block might have helped a little bit here. Tell you, hey, we got buyers stepping in. All right. Same thing on the sell side. All right. That was a good indication to take profits and get out here when we had this show up. So are you buying stocks options for the same day trading? Um, yeah, so it with this particular indicator, yes. Now with the infinity indicator, so you guys see the super orb, right? I mean, it's pretty badass. Um, the infinity indicator, here, let me turn this one off for you, and we'll turn on the infinity indicator. Okay, this is my second indicator. It's the original indicator. Um, so let me do this. And again, you can use the 3-minute chart for this as well. But some people prefer the infinity indicator. It's essentially the same thing. You see a buy signal, you buy. You see a sell signal, you go short. Okay. And you can use other things with the infinity indicator, like used to, before I used the Super Orb as my main day trading strategy, I would use something like the MLMI indicator to help me see, you know, where plays are going. In addition to this, so I would like look for like this condition where you had a MLMI shade here, across here, and then enter a short position here, um, and then like trying to find a place where there's like the opposite here. So like red here on the bottom, MLMI cross, buy signal, and I don't know. I think the other strategy, the strategy that we employ here for day trading is best. Now, let's jump to the daily chart though, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about. So this is why I prefer this on the daily chart. And you don't even need to, you can use the MLMI, but you don't even need to use any other indicator for this. And you can see it's pretty accurate. You're still getting some false signals. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, but it's really accurate. Actually, sorry, I don't, let me turn the right settings on. So right now, this is set up for day trading. Let me just set it up for long term so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, um, okay, there we go. So, this is the long term setup, and you can this is what I mean by long-term investing can be very, or long-term trading, investing can be very lucrative too. Nice buy signals, sell signals. Um, Usually the buy signals are going to be chunkier. So if I'm doing anything other than day trading, swing trading, or long-term trading, I'm looking at the infinity indicator. If I'm day trading, personally, for me, I'm only using the super orb indicator. I'm not using the infinity indicator in that situation. Does that answer your question? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Let's see where we're at. All right. We're doing okay for time. And we're getting towards the end too. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Anyone have any other questions while I find my place here? Okay, infinity, super orb. Okay, volume zone. So the volume zones indicator, this is one that's still in work. I know some of you guys are giving me some good compliments on it, and it does work well. Personally, I prefer what's going to come in the next slide, which is the key levels. I don't really love the volume zones because it's a dynamic indicator. I'll cover this more in our indicators course, um, which will probably next course. But I'll show you why I prefer the other one here. All right, so I'm not even going to go into that. So key levels, all right. I showed you guys why I really, and again, I release those key levels every Monday morning, or Sunday night. And those are good for all week long. Okay. You can use them for swing trading for that week, to essentially, it's like another, what's the best way I can describe this as an analogy? It's like a scouting report. If you're a sports fan, it's like a scouting report of the market. All right, what's the market going to do? Oh, okay, it looks like it's going to react to these key levels. Okay, so you keep those levels in mind. And the POC, that's the middle level. That's always the juiciest level. Again, I'll cover this more next in the indicators class. Um, top indicators. Okay. So education wise, on top of this technical analysis, on top of the indicators, we're going to show you how to read a basic chart. All right. Now, I was always overwhelmed by charts before I knew like technical analysis or anything like that. Just looking at a chart was like intimidating. But I'll tell you what, the most intimidating, the first step was the hardest part. So as soon as I tried to wrap my head, I said, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna learn this. That was the hardest part. Um, Everything else seemed to come really easy, and I'm gonna within a week or so, you should know how to read a basic chart, regardless of your experience level. We're gonna help teach you that. Um, Okay. So, yeah, some market basics that are often forgotten. We're also going to teach you guys this stuff. Stuff like toxic financing and dilution. I've seen so many people get sucked into investments scams like Mullen, like CEI, like a number of these companies that have these crazy promises on EVs or the next hottest thing. There's a way to spot these companies that I like to teach you guys. It's very simple and straightforward. So I'll teach you how to do that so you don't sink your money into a stock that you think is going to come back eventually and they're just literally legally scamming your money. Teach you guys how to watch out for that. Share offerings, okay? Again, that kind of rolls into the toxic financing thing. If you don't understand this right now, that's okay. You will. Risk versus reward. This is a big one. Some people don't know what they're getting into risk wise. So I'll help you guys understand risk versus reward and what would work or what might work best for you and your goals and your situation. And that can be very individual. Market structure and liquidity. Again, this is going to be covered in the next class, but this is what moves the markets. Doesn't get talked about enough. That's where the institutions are at. And last but not least, the mental part of investing and trading we're going to go over as well. So, um, all right. So this is just the beginning. The next steps. Uh, Sorry, hang on one second. I'm just going to mute him. There you go. Um, this is the first of many classes. Now that you guys know the basics, we can dive into the meat of things. The next few classes, we're going to dive into our custom indicators and we're going to go into them deeper. And by the way, if you don't have access, you can ask me for a trial. I'm going to teach you how to read and mark key levels on a chart. So I give you guys those key levels every week, but there's a way you can do this and mark this out on any stock, not just SPY. Obviously, I can't do that every week for every stock, but I can teach you how to do it. Um, and I'm going to obviously cover the indicators more in depth, breaking that out into our next class. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to break our next class and you may have to attend both, but it's going to be one focused on long-term investing for if you're going to be less active. And then I'm also going to have one or maybe two a swing and a day trading class because it's separate approaches. I got to teach you guys. And again, some of you may have to take both classes, but it's a different approach. We got to use the proper tools for the proper job. So, okay. Make sure you guys take action so you're ready for the next class. All right. So for the next class, what you're going to need a TradingView account. A free account is fine. You're going to need a Discord account. Free is fine for now. And then obviously your broker of choice, Webull, Schwab, Robinhood, whoever the case may be. Okay. Thanks for your time, and we're gonna end this with a little mini quiz. Okay. Let's see who's been paying attention. Does MT Investment Group give a free trial? What do we got? Yes. Uh, um, True or false? You need to have at least 6 month experience investing and trading to take advantage of what the community offers. And feel free to answer in person, Daryl.
No, you don't.
Correct. No, yeah, you don't need any experience. Um, Number three, the most important part of being prepared to trade is to be prepared mentally. True or false?
True.
True. True or false? In technical analysis, in general, more indicators means more success.
I'll say false to that.
You're right. False. Yep. 100%. Keep it simple. All right. More indicators does not mean more success. And a lot of times it just means more noise. And once we concoct a simple strategy for you guys, just stick to that. It's probably only gonna uh, have one or two, maybe three indicators at max that you'll be using in your system. So, no, more indicators does not mean more success. A lot of times it's the opposite. Um, Number five, which of our indicators is only one used exclusively for day trading? Yep, exactly, Lisa. The Super Orb is only used for day trading, whereas the Infinity Indicator you can use for long-term investing, swing trading, and day trading. Again, some people have been using Infinity successfully. If you have, really, there's no reason to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? If you're profitable doing what you're doing, you got in the groove. Do what works for you. So, um, and that wraps up the course. Does anyone have any questions before we cut ties here?
No,
All right, cool. I mean, if you guys do, my DMs are always open. I will be doing another class. We're probably going to push the one back tomorrow till next weekend. I'm going to be doing that in the morning, and then within the next month, sometime early next month, I plan on having the second course out, which is really going to dive deeper into the well, depending on if you're a long-term investor or a trader, but it's going to dive into the meat and potatoes of what you need to do exactly for your strategy. So I appreciate you guys' time. Most of you hang out for the entire hour, so I appreciate you guys hanging out. And again, my DMs are always open. If you guys have questions on anything, shoot me questions. And please interact in the Discord. Really trying to get that thing going. Discord is not my favorite platform, and that's part of the problem for communication. But right now, it's like the best that we got because Facebook sucks. But yeah, ask questions in the chat, interact, and thanks for hanging out. We'll do some more dive deeper into the indicators in the following courses. So appreciate you guys' time. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.